All right, guys, so we're gonna go in and just unbox these boots right here. I do really kind of like this box. It definitely looks more like a customized player box. Don't know if it's something collectors really care about, but I just like, you can see Bukayo's name there. You have the New Balance and his logo there as well. And just kind of a nice box. I don't know if this is the standard box. I have never had a pair of FG top end New Balance boots before, just a pair of flats. Almost a year ago now, I think I picked up a pair, so. Went with my standard size 9 US. Not sure if that's the proper sizing for New Balance boots, but I'm hoping that a 9 US will work out just fine for me. And we're gonna go ahead and just lift this top off here. Even the tissue paper here has has Bukayo's logo as well as the New Balance logo here. So that's just a little cool detail. And first impressions, this boot is pretty nice. I haven't seen a red football boot in this cool of a color, this much detail, and I think ever. And I have to say, this might be my favorite New Balance boot I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen New Balance boots all the time, but I've just never picked up a pair. And to be honest, this signature colorway is pretty cool. Just the detail, has Progress on there, his logo on the heel. You know, you have this New Balance logo, but kind of just looks like a wing. All this just like textured flower and floral coloring is really cool as well. And if you look in there, you even have his name, the New Balance logo, just like a key wrapped in kind of a ribbon. And even if you look at the aglets here, it just has some writing written on there as well. So that's pretty cool as well. If you take a look at the sole plate here, you can see it has that red chromed out, like holographic upper here. We have these chevron based studs on the outsides, mostly going the same direction. You have these back two pointing out a little bit. And you have the midfoot stud kind of pointing backwards, which usually the midfoot stud is always a different different shape or sizing, and it seems like it's the exact same size, just going the opposite direction. And if you look at the heel here, the heel studs, you have them all pointing out in like a 90-degree angle. So that's just something else that's interesting. Looking at this upper here, you have this synthetic soft upper. You can kind of see like, it's almost like a ghost lace, not an actual ghost lacing system, but just kind of has like a thicker pattern for where the laces would be at if you had them like a front lacing system. And then you have the side here. So you almost have like a burrito tongue style on the outside versus the inside. And I've always kind of been a fan of boots that lace up on the side. I think I had a pair of T90s when I was a kid that kind of lace on the side, which I thought was pretty cool. You know, and then you have this entirely, let's see if we can see in there, this entirely knit upper almost all the way down the boot. That's then just has a synthetic on top. So I am pretty excited to try these boots out. I think that New Balance did a really good job with at least the design and the color. And the way this just knit feels, the way that this synthetic upper feels, I'm really excited to get these on feet. Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further into this video, make sure you check out our website, haltsboots.com, where we have tons of boots ranging from retro to the newer models. So head over there, use discount code YouTube for 5% off your next purchase. A little bit different for today's review. Usually we do the unboxing, I do the tech specs, and then I wear them, and then we film the final part. But today we just did the unboxing. Well, that was actually a few days ago. And then I wore the boots, and now we're going to be doing the kind of the tech specs and then my thoughts, so I can kind of go, this is the tech of the boot, do I like it? This is the tech of the boot, do I like it? And so on. So just after wearing it initially, I have very high regards for this boot. I think it performs very, very well. It is super comfortable, has amazing lockdown. I didn't have really any issues with this boot whatsoever. And I think it really rivals Nike and Adidas in terms of speed boots on the market, even Puma. I know Puma usually is supposed to have good speed boots, but this boot is absolutely insane. And I feel like just nobody knows about this boot. It's so slept on. And I'm just gonna kind of go into detail on why I think this is an insanely good boot. So starting off with the upper, it has a two-piece upper and it has this hypo knit technology. And the whole top side of this boot, and including underneath the laces, is completely knit. And then you have this kind of burrito style, synthetic kind of soft upper that almost wraps all the way around the boot. One thing I really enjoyed about the upper is this synthetic piece and just how plush it is. It's not super soft, it's not super hard or rigid. And every time you strike a ball, it just feels great. And that's one thing I really look for when I give a boot high regards. And that's exactly what this boot delivered on. Having this side lacing system here, I don't really think it was a negative or a positive, just kind of something they did that doesn't really affect the boot in terms of just overall performance. I do like
that it gave me the old T90 vibes. I used to have a pair of T90s that laced up on the side when I was a kid. I think they were the takedown version, but it was still something I thought was unique about the T90 at the time, and I think is unique about this boot. And if you can see here for this upper, it still has like, I don't want to say it's like a ghost lacing system, but it's like almost like a fake lacing system here where you can see where it would crisscross if you had actual laces going there. Now, it kind of appears like the Flywire system with Nike's boots, but really it's just that nothing connects there. It just runs through. All the lacing is done through the side here. One thing I liked about this boot as well is this kind of like wing design they have for the New Balance logo. I don't know if they did it for the Furon V6 and the Furon V5 and everything before that. It was just not a boot I paid attention to up until now. So I just think it's a nice touch as well. So this is definitely another boot on the market that has one of the more aggressive sole plates that I've seen. It has all these chevron studs, which you saw in the unboxing, but I've never seen a boot that has every single stud the same. Usually everything is different. Well, not everything, but you'll have these studs are the same, and then the heel will be different, as well as this middle toe pick stud or I guess midfoot stud, but it's all just chevron triangular studs. And honestly, it was an aggressive boot. I did test these on turf only, and I didn't really have an issue at all with the studs digging too hard or getting stuck. I mean, you definitely get a lot of grip and traction, but nothing too severe where I would say don't wear this on turf. And if you look closely here, it does have that like chrome holographic sole plate. It does have this metallic finish will come off kind of warning sticker, and you can kind of see all over that I've beaten these up just a little bit. And you can see here, I really kind of either drag my toe or just kind of stick my toe a lot in the ground. But yeah, sole plate overall, I would say is really, really good. So one thing I didn't do is get the extra wide version. I do have very wide feet, but I'm also a player who really prefers to have a really tight lockdown sensation and really needs to be snug in a boot in order to feel comfortable and performance-wise. So I stayed with the normal sizing, and I really didn't have any pain in terms of in the width of my feet or the sides of my feet here. I did stretch it a little bit, and sometimes maybe there was like a little bit of uncomfortableness, but it didn't last long and it went away pretty quick. Also, the durability of this boot is pretty well. Besides the sole plate, I mean, you can see there's no real separation anywhere. It held together pretty well. I think I had 2 or 3 training sessions, and then I think I played 4 hours or so in these one day. So, I mean, it's holding up pretty well. I did go with my standard sizing in a 9 US, and these fit just pretty much like a normal Nike boot would. So if you're someone who really likes a Superfly or a Mercurial Vapor, I think that you should definitely go with a size 9. If you wear a 9 in Adidas, you'll probably be okay. Again, this is just my personal opinion, but I definitely think it really fits like a speed boot, fits just like the Vapor. So if that's something you're wondering about, now you know. Another thing I did like about this side lacing system here is that you can see, like, if your foot's a bit wider and you're gonna pull on these laces a little bit, but it still allows this boot to stretch out and your foot to stretch the boot a little bit, and you can still tighten the laces here on the side. So it will, it'll just allow your foot to kind of fill the boot a bit more, and you can still get that proper lockdown with the lacing system. I know I said these were pretty comfortable. I did get 2 small blisters on my foot. I really don't think it was the boot's fault. They weren't completely broken in yet, and I played basically all day. I had 2 games back to back, and then I had a couple hour break, and then I played 2 more games. So I did end up getting like a little bit of a blister here, and then on the inside right there, but I really don't think that's something you have to worry about if you're already have the boot broken in, or if you're just trying to get them broken in, unless you're wearing them a long time. So I really wouldn't worry too much about getting blisters with these. Overall, I really just don't have any negative things to say about this boot. It performed really well, it was comfortable. I did get those blisters, but again, it really wasn't the boot's fault. For $225, you're basically getting something more comfortable than the newest Vapor, in my opinion, or the newest Superfly. And if you're someone who really prefers a speed boot, I mean, they have tons of really nice colorways in this between, I think there's a blackout, a whiteout, this Saka limited edition colorway. Like, there's so many cool things, and I really think it's a boot you should pick up. Overall, I'm rating these a 7.9 out of 10. They're a super quality boot, super comfortable, very lightweight, a really perfect speed boot in my opinion. So I think every player who likes speed boots should get a pair of these. I believe you can find them on New Balance's website, discounted even. Most of the colors they have are still in a full size run. So I mean, there's this, a black colorway, a blue colorway, all sorts of crazy stuff. Thanks for watching this review. If you guys could please leave a like, subscribe, and comment on the channel, it really helps us grow, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.